You keeping well?
I'm hanging in there,
Good.
brother.
This is good to hear from you. It's nice of you to reach out to me and you know tell me a little bit about what's going on down there. So, but yeah, man.
You
Tell
guys are located exactly where? Because I
Mike.
was introduced to your show through a friend of mine. I believe somebody else that's a poker player or a sports
Okay.
bettor in Vegas somehow follows you, and he was the
Yeah.
one that said maybe I should talk to you. So what's your
Yes. So we're based in the UK, but obviously our genre is crime and everything, and that more so the mafia and everything what's going on uh, with them. So I haven't done any podcast with ex mafia member, but hopefully I'm looking forward to maybe having a sit down with somebody and that. But yeah, I've started doing the podcast and everything as well. So we do some like UK guys that are here, you know, ex criminals and that, you know, been in the life and
sure,
everything. And so yeah, so the podcast was just like an off chance thing that went off kind of thing. So I've kind of carried it on, but I'd like to have a sit down with a proper mob guy, you know. So I
sure.
met, I met Michael Francis. He came and done a tour here in the UK and everything. And but
Yeah, I
yeah,
follow his stuff. Yep, yep.
yes,
Former crime boss. Yep,
yeah, it's a former crime boss and everything. And that's yeah, it'd be nice to reach out to a few ex members of that life because that's my interest. Is my interest in the mafia and what goes on over there and that. And obviously when this scandal came up regarding the NBA and the mafia and that, got straight on it. And yeah, we had a big massive, as you could see from the post, man, it went crazy.
sure.
Loads of comments and
It's still over
there's a
here. It's still
massive
hot right now. It's a big
Mike,
topic, huge
yeah,
topic.
Mike, you know what it is? There's a massive interest in the mafia, massive interest worldwide, globally. Everybody's interested in it. We like watching the crime documentaries. And that's why I started what I started because I've got an unhealthy interest in crime. And then it kind of fell up on like me talking about it, doing a podcast with people here, and it's gone from there really. Had a slight knack to being okay with talking to ex-crime people on camera.
Sure,
So that's where I've
sure.
gone with it and that. But my obviously interest is the mafia, and yeah. And when that came up, I thought get on it, and yeah, it went crazy, like on the post. So tell me a little bit about you, Mike. You're into the betting game.
Or-
I'm assuming from your
Well,
Instagram.
originally, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, sure. So originally, I'm from New York City, which is kind of ground zero of where those guys are all from, right?
of course.
The in regards to in regards to mafia in the United States,
Yes.
ground zero of that is New York City,
Yeah.
and I'm from uh I'm from Brooklyn, New York, which is also
The
kind
hub.
of the center point of that.
That is. That's
Um,
the hub of it. Yeah. Queens, New York.
it is.
Uh, so
Sure.
what?
Howard
Howard Beach,
Beach,
where all
Bensonhurst.
Howard Beach is where all the old bosses were from. Gotti and all the
uh,
old school mobsters were from that area. Howard Beach, Brooklyn,
Ozone Park, Ozone
Ozone
Park,
Park. Yeah.
Bensonhurst,
Bensonhurst. Yeah.
Gravesend, 18th Avenue.
Gravesend.
And
Yeah.
then, back in the day, not too much. I mean, it's still a little bit, but back in the day, you used to have the little Italy in Manhattan,
Okay. Yes.
but
Yeah. Little
that's
Italy,
kind of
Manhattan.
faded out, transition now.
Where was the
Yeah,
Bergen?
that's
Where was
that's
the
that's more
Bergen?
for the tourist. You get what I mean?
Where was the Bergen Hush Fish Club? Gotti's hangout. Where was that? Was it in Manhattan?
That was in Manhattan, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Right towards, you know, I mean, me personally, I've never really kind of run in those circles. That's
Yeah.
not my,
I
that
was.
wasn't my thing. I keep a safe distance from illegal activities.
Yes.
Just to protect myself. I can't, I
Of
run a
course.
legit business. I'm in a sports handicapping business. I give people basically sports betting consulting advice.
Okay.
That's kind of my main squeeze. And then on the side, I'm also a semi-professional poker player, and I'm
Okay.
a sports bettor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being that I'm in the poker and sports betting worlds,
Yes.
I do from time to time run into people that I would call, people from another world.
Yes.
And, the last 15 or so years, I've
Yeah.
lived primarily in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So living in Las Vegas, being the gambling capital of the world,
Of course. Yeah.
you can only use your imagination for what type of people that kind of magnetizes and brings in.
That's right. Yeah. Um, it was
So
a yeah.
some of those people that I've met throughout the years were some of the people in this major indictment that's going on in the gambling scandal, which is, the sports betting,
Yeah.
rigged games, player
Poker.
props, people
Yeah.
giving him insider info.
Yeah.
The poker side of it, the poker
Yeah.
side of it, I had no direct knowledge at all about the games or the setups, the X-ray tables, the infrared, the red dye
Yeah.
with the glasses, the way they were cheating. I had no idea that that was going on at all, even in the slightest form. However, I did know several professional poker players
Yeah.
because a lot of poker guys also sports bet. That kind of runs
Yes.
with the territory.
Yes, it does.
So
Yeah.
I also knew a lot of professional poker players in Vegas that would tell me that,
Yeah.
hey, be careful of some private games. Hey, you know, if you're going to play in a casino, don't play in a private game. And,
Private
when
game.
I would ask them kind of what they were referencing or what they were referring to, these guys would kind of share details, not again directly for the group that's indicted right now, but in
Yeah.
general, they would divulge details basically, hey, sometimes these games are run by, the criminal world. They're
Yeah.
run by guys that, you don't want to fuck with. These are guys that,
Exactly. Yeah.
they're going to set you up in the game. They're either going to rob you on the table or rob you outside
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Take you to the cleaners, as they say. Yeah. So, do you think the mob? So the mob is still infiltrated into Vegas then, like it has been, like it always been, like currently now. Is the mob involved in Vegas, like you said, or is it like certain poker games that they're in charge of? They're involved in. Are they involved with the casinos?
I don't really think they are, to be honest with you. I
Yeah.
really don't. I don't think that
Okay.
they're if they are, it's to a very limited capacity.
Okay.
It's not as open, it's not as brash as it used to be. I mean,
But
and I
they
think
do.
that whatever they're doing, it's
Yeah.
I think it's on a smaller scale, a different approach. It's
Yes.
rigged, like a rigged poker game,
Poker game. Yeah.
maybe maybe some bookmaking stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
Okay.
the
Yeah.
days of, like, basically grabbing guys, throwing them in a trunk kind of thing, I
Oh,
think
they're
that's
over.
long
Yeah, I
gone.
know. Yeah, I
I
know.
don't think that
It's
that's.
it's all gone white collar now, isn't it, with the mob? But obviously they're still about and they still exist and everything. The hierarchy and everything else that goes through, they're still around. They still do their things, but it's more underground, I'd say. Well, it ain't underground because of this
I think it.
scandal now.
Well, I think it has to be with the way that technology has advanced.
They got to
The
evolve. Yeah.
the technology, I think, technology is what's kind of been the game changer for everything. I mean,
Yes,
you can't really do anything anymore without being on a video or some kind of surveillance or
that's
some
right.
kind of wiretap or,
Yeah,
the technology from back in the day when the mob, in my
yeah.
opinion, when the mob had their stronghold on things,
Back in the
technology
70s.
wasn't anywhere even close to where it's at today.
Yeah. I mean, Michael
I think
Francis
that was the
says
game changer, if you ask me.
Michael Francis said the golden years for the mob were the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. And then obviously after that, technology and everything that came in. But they were the golden years, the 50s, 60s, 70s, where they were all thriving, where they probably, owned the whole of New York kind of thing and were running it, you know. But
Think of
Mike,
think of how far even from the latter part of that, the 80s. Think of how
Yeah.
far technology's advanced in the last 40 years. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
not even. It's hard to imagine, right?
Yeah. Sure is. Mike, do you know any of the people that've
But
been indicted
I
for?
think my. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, do you know any of the people that have been indicted on these charges like that? Nicholas Fat Nick, Manucci, Angelo
Any of the
Ruggiero.
New York, any of those. Yeah, sure. No, any of the New York guys, I don't know them at all. Never even met them. Any
Okay,
of the mob guys that they're saying that
mob
were
guys.
involved, I never met those
Yeah.
guys. Had never even wouldn't even know wouldn't know them if they were standing in front of me.
Okay.
I knew out of the entire indictment, the only
Yeah.
people I really knew or have run into were
Yeah.
the Damon Jones, who
Okay.
was LeBron's best friend,
Was he a mob guy?
11-year NBA veteran,
Okay. Who was he there? He wasn't a mob guy.
and he wasn't a mob guy, but
Okay.
according to the indictment, he was completely affiliated with them. So
Okay.
an associate, I guess, right? I mean, he was
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
in their games
Yeah.
as a what they call a face card in the game.
Okay.
Um, and then he got Shane Hedden, who goes by Sugar. He
Yeah.
is a former convicted drug dealer that served some time.
Yeah.
Um, he got out. He got into the sports betting world and the poker world.
Yeah.
And supposedly they're saying that Shane was running the games primarily front and center. He was like the I guess the kind of the ringleader to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I knew Shane. It's crazy because I knew Shane for like 4 years, the last
Okay.
4 years, and he's never said a word about any of this ever to me. Like even in the he was tight lipped. He was
Yeah.
tight lipped. He wouldn't. I never would have. I would never have suspected any of that.
And
But
he's on the
the
and
lifestyle, the the lifestyle and the money, certainly was on full display
okay.
with
Flash
both
cars.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The flashy cars,
Yeah.
all designer clothes, the jewelry,
Yeah.
the woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Uh, but but in regards to that, you know, the mob, in my opinion, the mafia has a very clever way about them that most people would never even think of. So,
Yeah.
the first thing is these guys were okay putting the NBA players in the poker games for the reasons of what? It makes it look like it's a soft game.
Oh, the
Like
NBA
it's
players
hey,
were
it's just a
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so what they did, I'm going to tell you what the mafia's move was on this. So the
Okay.
move was let's just say you're a very rich man, you like to play poker, you like to
Yeah.
play in some underground big games. If you see Phil Hellmuth, Phil Ivey, Daniel Negreanu, you see like, big time professional players, you're probably not going to like your chances, right? You're going to say, hey, I'm going to be playing at high stakes against guys that know the game and play the game a lot better than I do.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
if you went to a poker game and got an invite and they said, hey, I got just a bunch of NBA guys and a bunch of movie actors and things of that nature, you would
Yeah.
probably like your chances a lot better because you're saying, hey, these are just some athletes with a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you go into the game thinking it's a soft game. So
Okay.
that was the move. The chess move was that they would lure these people into the
Yeah.
games
Because they got the
because
dope.
the
They got the
people
money.
playing the game were just former athletes.
Okay. Yeah. Got you. And that
Makes total
and
sense, right?
yeah, it does make sense, doesn't it? Because when they come in, these athletes are novices in that game. They don't know a lot, and they're just taking their money. Easy takings,
Now you got it, my friend.
easy pickings for them, isn't
Easy
it?
takes, just an
They
athlete
got
with a lot of money that I'm going to
a lot of
play
money.
poker with and probably beat them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they put in like guys
And
that
then
obviously
and then
know
the
the game.
yeah, I mean, these guys are clever, even though they don't have the same juice or they don't have the same muscle like they used to. They're very clever in their ways of how they still obtain their funds.
Yeah,
They
yes, yeah.
they get creative. That's
Yeah.
very creative, if you ask me.
Of course it is, yeah, it is. Yeah.
And
So
then of course the technology was crazy. The technology with
I mean, how?
the 3D glasses to see
Yeah.
all the cards, and I don't know.
But
To me,
how
that
did
was like, wow.
how did the FBI and the law enforcement infiltrate these games and infiltrate the mafia as well as the players, NBA players? They must have had a big investigation going on regarding it to pull them all in at the end.
I mean, I could only speak on what I've read in the papers or in the
Yeah,
news, and according
yeah,
to what I read was that
yeah.
basically, they were doing basic, surveillance.
Oh, surveillance.
They were
Okay,
watching these games from for years. And I
okay.
think if I had to guess, if I had to guess, what I think happened was a few different poker players. It's just like the sports betting arena, right? A lot of poker players know a lot of other poker players.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of a community, right?
Yes, yeah,
So these guys would go to the game. They would all keep losing. They
yeah,
probably shared information and said, "Hey, have you ever played with these guys before? Have you ever played in this game? I lost a $500,000. I lost $1 million."
yeah,
So they start sharing information between each other, saying, "Hey,
yeah,
maybe we were victims. We might have got defrauded. There might be something up to a rigged game." That's all it
yeah,
probably took. A couple people got hustled for a couple $1 million. They went
yeah.
to the feds and probably said,
But
"Hey, these poker
listen,
games are being run."
yeah, illegitimately, yeah, because they've obviously got hurt in their pocket.
There you
So
go.
thought, so thought, fuck it, let's tell the feds and drop them in it because they've got our dough. You
And
know,
the and the feds start hearing the big numbers, 7 million, 8 million. It's a
yeah,
lot of money.
it's
They
a lot
start
of
hearing
money.
those
Yeah,
big numbers. Eyeballs open up. They start looking
yeah,
into it. And
yeah,
that's all it takes. And then they make the bust. They came in, they got the poker table. The poker table had the x ray machine in it. I mean, it's pretty like,
yeah.
pretty front
Sophisticated.
and center. I mean, yeah, I mean, and then what happened was with the sports betting thing, I think my opinion is
Yeah,
when they found out that those NBA guys were playing
yeah,
in those rigged poker games, they
yeah.
then also individually looked at those guys.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See who they were
Text
connected with.
messages, phone
Yeah,
calls.
surveillance. Yeah, yeah.
So everything, in other words, in crime, everything is kind of connected, right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's
one thing leads to another thing, to another thing, to another thing, and then you just start connecting the dots.
connecting the dots. Yeah, and before you know it, yeah,
You, and
they're
before
taking
you
them in.
know it,
They're taking them in, man.
that's
They're
right.
taking them in, and they took a whole load of them from all the different families: Bernardo, Lucchese, Gambino, Genovese. Yeah, Angelo Ruggiero
I believe
Jr.
3 of the major crime families were involved.
3 or 4. Yeah, and they've been. Well, I read that they were kicking back up to the bosses from these rigged poker games. So any money they were making and that straight up to the top. And then I was
Listen,
reading.
I'll tell you the craziest thing in my opinion with the mob in this whole
Yeah,
thing that's going on. Just the simple fact that an either a former or current NBA player who's
yeah,
worth millions of dollars is in any way associated with mob figures is to me
yeah.
just mind blowing
Crazy, isn't it? But
because
listen,
you
my
put
take on
yourself in
it.
that mindset that you're worth $100 million. You're an NBA athlete. You're a superstar. You're a guy that has all this fame and notoriety, and you're still associating with underworld mob figures. It's kind of like you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah,
It's
you can't
crazy.
make it up, man. It's crazy. But like you said, these mob guys are in the same circles as these NBA players. Like money wise, they're rolling around in the same circle. Before you know it, they get connected with them, and get influenced by them. And before you know it, they're in their back pocket
I think you hit the nail on the head with that.
because
I think some of
they
these guys too. If I'm just putting my personal opinion or my personal like just thoughts. that
Experience. Yeah.
over 15
Yeah.
years in Vegas, dealing,
Yeah.
knowing these guys, the
Yeah.
NBA athletes. I don't know any mob figures, but
Yeah.
knowing NBA athletes who have gambled in Vegas and such. Here's my thoughts on that. I
Okay.
also think that a lot of these athletes, and it's just not the NBA, by the way. I'm talking NFL,
Yeah.
Major League Baseball, NHL, and I'll tell you what, even like where you are, maybe a lot of these top soccer players,
Oh, 100%.
okay, in a
It's
lot of
going
these
on here.
soccer leagues.
Yeah, there's loads of like similar stuff going on here. Yeah.
I, what I think happens is, I think a lot of these guys, even with all that money, with all that fame, they still like to get down and dirty. They like to gamble. They like to
Yeah.
drink. They
Yeah.
like fast women. You get what I'm trying to say?
I get
Just
what you're
because you
saying. Yeah.
make the big money doesn't mean you don't have the same
They're
vices as other people.
they're in the same lifestyle, aren't they?
So when
As the
they
mob
do
guys.
this, it's the lifestyle. And then I'll tell you where this goes. They develop those vices, okay? And
Yeah.
then through those vices, they may run into guys from the Gambino family, Genovese family,
Yeah.
all these big crime families. They
That's
run
right.
into those guys through maybe, hey, owing a debt to a bookie, owing
Yeah.
a debt to a loan shark, owing a debt to someone like that, right? I'm just giving hypotheticals. I'm not
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
but
That.
I'm
Yeah.
giving based on my experience of
Yeah.
being a guy that's in the high stakes
And
world. What happens
history.
is these guys get in deep, or they catch them doing something. Maybe the guy's cheating on his wife. They catch the guy cheating on his wife. They catch the guy, sucking off a goat. I don't know.
Yeah.
They might. Who the hell knows the crazy world we live in? They catch
Hundred
these
percent.
guys doing some crazy stuff,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all it takes, think about it. All it takes is the right crime figure to get a hold of that information or that video or that recording, and says,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm gonna make it easy for you. If you don't help us out and do a couple favors, you'll be all over the
Yeah.
tabloids." You get what I
That's
mean?
right.
Like a blackmail
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Blackmail kind of thing. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you're talking mob. I mean, isn't that what those guys probably do? I mean, they're great at that. Extorting,
Oh yeah.
blackmailing,
Oh yeah.
shuffling the cards around, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's always been the case with the
I mean,
mob, hasn't it?
history has taught us
History
that, right?
History told us that. Yeah. Yeah. They were involved in every nook and
That's their
cranny.
move.
Yeah. So what
So
part what part of you from Brooklyn then? You're from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn
Did you
Heights,
say?
downtown Brooklyn.
Okay. Cool. And
I'll tell you another thing that I wanted to share with you. I'll tell you
yeah.
another thing
Okay.
I wanted to share with you. I so so during the summertime in Vegas,
Yeah.
this started several years ago, not that long ago. They started to bring in the NBA Summer League. So the
Okay.
NBA Summer League is basically a small league that plays just for a few weeks in the summer. And what it is all the new, the rookies, all the guys that have either just gotten drafted by out of college or they're guys that have only been in the league for like a year or so. And they bring this to Vegas. Now, firsthand knowledge, I've watched a lot of these guys while in the summer league gambling on the blackjack tables, roulette wheels, the dice tables.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a major concern to me because think about it. If I'm looking at it in your perspective, right? If I were a mob guy
Yeah.
and I knew I had 18 to 23, 24-year-old kids
Yeah.
that were being exposed to gambling in Vegas,
Yeah.
and I could watch and see who was gambling,
Yeah.
that may be a tell to me to know who I could probably infiltrate.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? I think the NBA's
Yeah.
got some major problems, brother. I really do.
I think they have now after this big.
They should never have The NBA, the league, no league should ever be involved in Las Vegas in any capacity. NBA
Yeah.
Summer League, they're talking about now bringing an NBA team there in the next few
What to
years.
play?
Like, all this
To
is
play in
bad
Las
news, man.
What NBA league to play in Las Vegas? Or what are they doing in Las
Excuse-
Vegas? Is- What what are the
Yeah,
NBA
they're
league
talking
doing in
about bringing an NBA
Okay.
team there now.
Okay. Right.
And
And
guess
that'll make it
and guess who was supposedly behind all that? LeBron
who's that?
James.
Who? LeBron James. Is he
So
I did read
he
I
was,
did
yeah,
read
he was like the,
yeah.
and he's best friends with one of the guys who was indicted in this case.
Ah, okay. Has he got any involvement in LeBron James in this case, or just his friend was indicted for it?
According to the feds, his friend was indicted, but let me ask you something. It's his
Okay.
best friend, okay? If your
Okay.
best friend was an alcoholic, would you
Yeah.
tell somebody, honestly, would you say, I don't know he's an alcoholic?
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't, would
I
you?
mean, come on.
You
You
yeah,
get where I'm going with this?
yeah, 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 yeah.
You're the guy's best friend. You're
Yeah.
telling me you don't know the guy's a gambling lunatic? You don't tell me the guy's
Yeah.
a degenerate? You don't know any of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the information in the indictment, I believe, from what I read, was the information was pertaining to LeBron's injuries.
What does that mean?
So the information that was shared from Damon to the outfit or the syndicate, whatever you want to call it, was
Yeah, yeah.
LeBron's injuries.
Ah, right, okay.
I mean,
Ah.
you, you get where I'm going with this?
So he must have told it. LeBron must have told his best mate about his injuries and that, and he's passed the information on, possibly to mob guys who he's involved with, possibly.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I would definitely not rule it out. I would consider anything at this point is on the table in play. You get what I mean?
Yeah, because you got to look at it
But I
like
mean,
this.
could you imagine that
Yeah,
here's what I didn't like.
yeah.
They said in reports through this indictment that LeBron's people said to the authorities, "Hey, LeBron had no involvement at all in this. He didn't know that Damon was a gambler. He didn't know that any information was secretly given." Like I asked you, if you had a best friend, he was an alcoholic or a drug addict,
You know
are you
everything about
telling
him.
me that your best friend is a drug addict and you wouldn't know he does drugs at all? Come on, man.
Of
Come on.
course, you'd know. Yeah, you'd know
Come
everything
on,
about
man.
him.
You get
You'd
where I'm
know
going with
everything
that,
about him.
right?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I mean, come
yeah.
on, man.
You're 100% right. I didn't know
It's
that he had a
crazy,
best friend.
brother. I just,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
that was his
madness.
best friend. That he was
What
his
was it?
teammate. They played together in Cleveland. They played on the same team together.
Okay, what was his name? The one who's been indicted with the federal charges?
Damon Jones.
Damon Jones.
Damon
Okay,
Jones.
okay. He's one of the
And
players
that was the guy that I knew the best out of all these guys. That was the guy that I always see at Aria at the casino.
at the casino. Okay, got you.
Yeah, they
Okay.
put me in the New York Post. They just did an article on me in the New York Post about my basically my color commentary on firsthand experiences with Damon. I never
Uh,
liked the guy from the first day I met him. The guy was a very arrogant, kind of very
I,
cocky and flamboyant type of dude.
yeah.
He rubbed me
Okay.
the wrong way right from the first day I met the guy.
And how did you meet him?
And
What?
he
How did you
would
come?
he would openly he would openly walk around the casino and brag about how LeBron James is his best friend.
Okay. Yeah. I see where you're coming from.
I don't. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, it's and
Crazy,
like I
man.
said, here's another thing. Here's another important thing I want to throw at you.
Yeah. Go for it.
You're walking around a major casino. You're
Yeah.
throwing around the fact that you're LeBron James' best friend. You get where I'm going with this?
Yes.
All it takes is the wrong guy to possibly overhear that. And next thing you know, here comes your crime family activity.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like a target, right? It's like a target.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. 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 He's advertising himself out there, and then
If I
somebody's
was
there
best
to.
friends with somebody like that and I was involved in gambling activities, I wouldn't be name dropping anybody like that.
No, you wouldn't, would you? Because
These
you
guys
just.
put their business out there.
Yeah. You just bait. You just bait ready to have, you know, and they take it. They take everything.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But,
Exactly. So that's why it was kind of weird to me that this guy was so lax and so like kind of easy about just throwing LeBron's name around like that. You're throwing around probably the biggest name in NBA history, one of the most recognized athletes on the face of the planet, and you're going around, you're a degenerate gambler, you're
yeah.
gambling in the public's eye. You're doing all these activities and saying I'm LeBron James' best friend. The wrong guy hears that. That can
Yeah.
open a lot of doors in a bad way.
Yeah. That's right, especially for him. Yeah. Let me ask you something, Mike.
Um,
What's what's
Please.
you're always in Las Vegas. I'm interested in Vegas. What's the worst thing you've seen in Las Vegas? Or what's I'll tell you what.
I saw
Yeah, go on. And I've got another one for you.
I
What's
saw a bunch of people that were in that indictment
yeah,
at a very popular strip club,
okay.
and what they were doing was they were crumbling up $100 bills
Right.
so that they would look like a ball. Okay, they would crumble
Yes.
them into a ball. They would line up 4 or 5 strippers and would tell the girls, pull your panties out forward so that it would look like almost like a basket. And they
Got
were
you.
taking the $100 bills, crumbled up as a ball, and throwing them at the girl's vagina so they would
No.
see who could make the basket inside the girl's panties.
And that was the mob guys who've been they're the mob guys
I,
who've been
I didn't.
indicted.
I didn't see the mob. No, I didn't. I didn't
No.
see the mob guys. I saw the NBA guys doing that.
Okay. All right, okay, got you. Right, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Crazy. That is
The mob guys I never met or saw. I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
who those guys. I never even saw them or knew them. I wouldn't know them if they were standing in front of me. But
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
again, these guys are all connected to those guys, right?
Yeah.
According to the documents.
According to the
So
documents,
they're
yeah,
all
they are.
kind of in cahoots with each other, right?
Yeah,
I mean, again, nobody's
they
been
are.
found guilty yet, but I'm just saying that the indictment, which is a suspected involvement, those
Yeah.
guys were connected, and these guys were at a strip club throwing $100 bills inside the panties
Wow.
like it's a basket. I mean, I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty funny. The worst thing I saw was a lot of these guys were in the high limit rooms. They were trying to hustle customers,
Okay.
meaning
Yeah.
they're
Meaning
dropping their image. Hey, I'm an NBA player. Hey, could you loan me 25,000? Could I sit down at the table and play with you until my money arrives, or until my secretary brings the money, or my wife is on the plane. She's got 200,000 of my money. She's flying in from L.A. right now. She'll be here in 2 hours. Can you loan me 30,000? Can I play in the blackjack game with you?
okay, got
So
you. Yeah.
a high heeled guy might see that this guy's a former NBA player.
Go
The
for it, yeah.
guy's made, $50 million in his lifetime. You're thinking the guy's probably good for 25,000.
But what they don't know is they're playing on their money, and if they win, they've got free money that they've won on their money. Give them the 25 back, and I won a load of money for not putting any of my money in it. Maybe, I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
again, they're
What?
using their status. They were using their status, they were using their image to gain trust from unsuspecting people.
Yeah, yeah. They're putting themselves out there, aren't they? And then obviously now they're involved with the law enforcement. Mike,
Absolutely.
let me ask you another question about Las Vegas.
Please
What
ask away.
what is the most amount of money somebody's lost and you've seen on the table, poker, could be anything in Vegas? What's the most amount of money that somebody's lost or won?
That I personally saw firsthand, I saw an NBA player lose over $350,000
Okay,
on a dice table.
on a dice table. Okay, got you.
Most of the guys, just so you know, I want to
Yeah,
tell you this. Most of the very, very big whales or the high rollers in Vegas, I'm explaining real quick for your
yeah,
audience.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
they don't know exactly how this operates or works.
yeah.
So when you're at that level as a gambler, they give you what is called a private gaming lounge,
Okay.
meaning off the casino floor, the public eye, they have rooms, VIP rooms that nobody is allowed to enter.
The Premier League of Gamblers.
So only you. Well, it's basically to cater to high rollers who may
Yes.
lose millions of dollars. Those rooms cater to those people so that
Yeah.
they're not in the public eye. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
So
course.
that way,
Yeah.
people when
It's
they're gambling like that, they may
it's
not want the public eye to see them losing big money.
big
They don't
money.
want people coming up and saying, "Hey, can I get your autograph? Can I get your?" So they
Yeah,
give them a private gaming lounge that's
yeah,
completely away from the public eye.
yeah. That's understandable, isn't it?
That's
Them
where the
big.
majority of those guys play.
Okay, got you, Mike. I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you coming on and talking to me, and we'll definitely talk again.
Absolutely.
We'll stay in touch, and we'll definitely um, do another video call,
Well, we're
maybe
gonna
on
see. We're gonna
on
see
another.
how this case. We're gonna see how
We're
this
gonna,
case starts to play out. I think this is just the
yeah,
tip of the iceberg. I think there's gonna be. I'll tell you what. You mark my words on this. I think there's gonna be some huge news breaking information that's going to come out from this. This thing is going to get way bigger than what it already is, and already it's
yeah,
on national headlines worldwide. But this whole case, I think, is going to get even much bigger, and
yeah.
there's going to be a lot of new developments. So as
So
those
keep me.
developments happen, I'll
So
join you
please.
guys again and update you on some things that I may hear or see.
100%. Yeah, I was going to say keep in touch, and we'll keep in touch. And any more developments on the case with the gambling and the mob, we'll definitely update people on this. And obviously, I'll speak to you regarding this as things kind of unfold over there.
Crazy, it's crazy over here, buddy. It's crazy.
I know,
You
man.
never know what you're going to see in Vegas, buddy.
Yeah.
You never know.
Are you, Mike? Are you based in Vegas or in New York,
Based in
or are you
Vegas. Yep.
based in Vegas? Okay. So you
Based in
two.
Vegas right now. Based in
Okay.
Vegas.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well,
you never know what you're going to see or hear out here, my friend.
yeah, well, I'm going to stay in touch with you and everything, and that, and any other developments that happen with the gaming side of it, with the mob and everything, we'll definitely hook up again, and we'll do another video. And I'll
Absolutely, brother.
well, thank you for joining
Thank
us,
you guys. I appreciate you
and
having me
I'll
on.
yeah, I'll drop you a message shortly.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, Mike. Thank you for sharing everything with us.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Take care,
All
man.
right, guys.
See you
Thank you.
soon.
God bless.